Hey everyone, it's Desiree. Welcome, and I hope you're having an awesome day as always. Okay, we are going to make a pop-up card, and you want to know what's even better? Oh, wait till you see what I did. You will not believe it, and you won't believe when I realize it. So, yeah. Scrappy Tails, Sabrina has designed yet another amazing pop-up. It is the egg carton pop-up. So we are going to be using a bunch of products here. So the egg carton seedlings die, the A7 fence trellis pop-up, the carrot patch bunnies stamp and die coordinating die set, and then of course the slimline egg carton pop-up. So we're using pieces from each. I did already stamp my images and I used my colored pencils to color them, and no, I did not leave that in the video. Now, you ask why. I forgot to hit record. Yay me! And still the video is long and will be chatty. So, not for you. Turn off the volume. Okay, here we go. We've got lots of die cutting going on here. Of course, I did all that off camera. I'm using two of the two eggs, and I did two different colors. So I went with a yellow, a darker yellow, and then an aqua and a darker aqua. And I combined those, basically crossed those over. I'm going to be using the sentiment, Happy Easter. I love die cutting. So, yeah. And a lot of my pieces are going to be double upped. So two die cuts for each. Now, those of you that have been here for a while know that I die cut more than what I always need. It's just something that I do. And thank goodness I did it this time. Yes, see, and you'll see why. Let me know if you figure out what I did wrong, and then I'll let you know when I realized it. Yes. And Sabrina, you can't comment. I'm just saying. So this will probably make her laugh when she watches it. Just saying. I provide great entertainment. So this is from the egg carton seedlings die, these little tiny sprouts. And I am doubling them up because they are on the dainty side. The stems are pretty thin, and I just want them to have some stability. Now, I am actually making the true pop-up card, which means it's not a permanent fixture home decor piece. Usually, guys, I do that. I turn it and I'm like, okay, I need this to be permanent because this has to sit on a shelf somewhere. No, I'm actually making it pop up, so it's going to bend and flatten out. I know. Miracles can happen. I just had way too much fun with this one, and in amazement at what I did. So here we've got all of these little tiny sprouts, and you can see as I'm putting things together, I'm pushing them off to the right into the piles. What I'm going to work on next are the tools. So again, we're going to double up the base color, and then we're going to add the layerings on top of that. Now, it looks like I'm going to have, two forks and all that stuff. No. I'm just going to use 2 layers of each and just have the 3 pieces. And you'll see what I mean. And that's mainly because I changed that up because I didn't die cut the fork the way I was supposed to. So again, it's all about honesty and transparency here. We're just going to have these be very thick. And it's a good thing, again, that I did that as well. So again, just having fun. Tweezers are your friend when it comes to some of these pieces. And I am proud to say no pieces were lost. I'm just saying. Because that spade had this little tiny black piece between the spade and the handle. Yep. Didn't lose it. I was very thankful that the sentiment didn't have a dot for the eye. It Happy Easter has no I in it. Yep, loved it. Because I always lose that. So yes, long video. I'm showing all the steps when it comes to the die cutting. I know somebody would say, I'd rather see the coloring. I know. I'll do that next time. I'm doing the same thing. So I chose the base color. When you have pieces like this, and again, this is just my opinion. So when you're creating these die cuts and they're, paper pieced die cuts, and you're using them in a pop-up card, meaning they're going to stand free because they're going to sit on a bridge that's going across that card. They're really not going to have a backing. You do want to make sure that if you're using a lightweight cardstock, that you die cut it a bunch of times. And you only have to do that for the base that you're using. So in this case, for these flowers, I chose the green. It's the piece that does not layer up, meaning the flowers are going to go on top of these pieces. So I only have to die cut those once. If I wanted to, I could die cut the flowers twice to add more stability to them. However, I don't want to add more weight to the top. So look at your piece when you've got a paper pieced die cut layer that what Sabrina creates. I've got a skinny stem going up there. I only want to have the weight that's necessary. So that's one layer of the white and one layer of the yellow. I don't want it to flop. If you're using a thinner cardstock for these, which you can, when it comes to the pieces that you're adding to your pop-up, yes, you can certainly do that. You want to make sure that you do die cut the base 2, possibly 3 times, because that will give it the stability once you get it into your pop-up. I hope that made sense. I kind of rambled. Sorry about that. Just a little bit. But that's my thought process. So when it comes to your components or your pieces, you'll see that for the pieces that I used, that I stamped and colored with my colored pencils, I only have one layer of those. I did not die cut it again to put a backing on it because the paper that I used is 140-pound mixed media paper. So I didn't have to back that. Again, you can use all kinds of different weights for your pieces when it comes to the pop-up. However, when it comes to the pop-up mechanism itself, the base of the pop-up, so in this case, the slimline egg carton, you do want to use a heavyweight cardstock. It's highly recommended to use that. I chose a 110-pound craft. Now, if you don't have heavyweight cardstock, then you need to double this up because this is taking on the weight and the mechanism is going to be used. It's going to be put into an envelope, so it's going to fall flat. When it's pulled out of the envelope, it's going to be pushed out again. So you want to make sure that it holds up. I'm using the tabs and I'm linking the two pieces together. So once I fold this over, I'm making sure that it's even along the bottom. And then I'm going to reinforce those folds. I'm using both double-sided and liquid glue to adhere these together. By adding the liquid glue, it gives me a little wiggle. Just a little. And then I'm coming in with a paper creaser just to push those down. And I'm working that mechanism back and forth. I've used her pattern paper collection for this launch. And I chose the pink and white plaid. And we're going to add those pieces to the side as well. We're going to do this part twice. And again, just working that back and forth, making sure nothing's getting caught. against each other. Again, putting down some double-sided tape, adding some glue, and adding the second one. Now, let's say for this pop-up you don't have a heavyweight cardstock. Could you? Yes, you can definitely still put this together. What I would do is I would reinforce it. I would die cut it a couple times, but then cut the pieces. One of the things that was always a challenge for me is to just take these pieces and double them up. Now, if you do that, you could just glue both of these pieces together. You need to let them dry. Let them dry overnight, and then you'll be able to fold and crease, and they won't buckle and do all kinds of strange things on you. Okay? If not, just cut your pieces and layer them in the back. And then that would be absolutely fine. It's something when I pieced it, when I say piece it, cut them up, it's something like I did when I made that Halloween lantern on the hoop base. Instead of layering the two pieces of the lantern together completely, I cut out sections and put them in the back to give it stability. Okay, Gabby, always. I'm using the picket fence and the grass from the A7 fence trellis pop-up card, which was a card that I did earlier. And I'm trimming this down. So one of the posts and the tabs are being cut off. I'm going to glue this to the back along the handle. Anybody see what I did yet? Because I don't realize it yet. Now that I've got this in, I'm going to add some double-sided tape along this entire back, because I'm going to take this one, this egg carton, and glue it to the other egg carton. So now we're going to have a double egg carton. Yeah, had to say it that way. So just adding lots of double-sided tape, because this is going to be the center, and this is what will move back and forth. We're going to remove the release paper, and then we are going to set the other one in place, because I want the fence on the other side as well. Going to add a little bit of glue just in case I've got to move this around. And now we're going to set this in place. I'm going to fold it down just as the other one's folded, and I'll start from the bottom and place it up. I'm not worried if it's not perfectly layering together, because we're going to take this fence and cover that up. So it'll hide if the center, because I didn't place the die perfectly every time when I die cut the center. So going to set that in place, line it up, and press down. So now we have our center fence backdrop. Now we're going to work on the bridges. So going to get these folded. Again, I'm using the 110-pound heavyweight craft. And it's by Recollections. I love their craft. Absolutely love it. It even feels like it's heavier than 110 pounds. Just saying. It's very heavy. And we're going to get the bridge in place as well. And I'm going to put one on each side of the fence. No pun intended. Again, using double-sided tape and glue. And when I put these in, I'm actually going to be lining them up so the tabs are going to hit the back. So they're going to stick out the same distance from that fence on each side. I always try to pick an area of where they're going to sit so that it's even, because that's just my OCD. That comes in. Yeah, it's there. It's real. And every time I put a bridge in, I push this down. So you can see that mechanism of the pop-up is really being used, because I'm constantly pushing this down. I'm constantly making sure that it's going to go flat. I'm making sure that the pieces are not overhanging so that they don't fit into the envelope. Now, I'm using the dirt from the seedling die set, and I'm using the grass from the trellis. And I'm going to trim because that grass is a little bit longer. And I had the dirt in the front, changed my mind real quick, took that off, and I'm just gluing the top, the blades of the grass to the base of the dirt, and I'm putting that along the bridge. And again, we're going to do that to each side. So pretty much everything is the same when it comes to what we're adding, the different elements that we're putting in. Just putting glue along the base of the grass, and then we're going to get this up onto the bridge, making sure that's secured. To make sure, again, we're going to push down on it, see? And we're going to make sure that it is holding. So just a little bit of hint of that coming up. We're going to get the eggs in place. So the eggs are going to sit on each side. So it's going to kind of frame our bunnies. So the bunny that's going to go in the front, yeah, if you haven't heard already, if you missed the Spellbinders large die, is the bunny with the bum. I'm gonna have the bunny with the bum. I think it is so cute. And I also added a white cottontail because let's add some dimension, right? That's what I do. But fell in love with this, have it in place, and I have the feet on one side of the bridge, and then I have everything else on the other side of the bridge. So tweezers are just absolutely your friends to make sure that it will hold in place. Does anybody notice what I didn't do yet? Because I haven't. I'm telling you, I'm just going along here. Yep, I am just going along. Place the sentiment right across the front because I wanted to make sure I didn't forget, because I would have put it on the wrong side. I needed to have the Happy Easter and the bunny bum in the front of the card. Absolutely. I'm going to place an egg on each side, and that's going to kind of help frame the stamped images just a little bit. We're going to add some flowers here along this bridge and along the back of it. So that's going to make it look like they're coming out of the ground. So you can see my whole thought process, because that's what I like you guys to know. How did this come out of my brain? Did I plan any of this? I get this question a lot. Do I plan out the cards that I film? No. I have an idea in my head. I write it down. That's all I do. I don't do sketches. I don't do anything like that. I write down my idea, stamped image watercolors, or pop up with 2 stamped images. And that's what this was written. 2 stamped images, use colored pencils, 2 pop-ups put together. That's all I wrote. Oh, and fence for background. It's all I do. I don't do sketches. I don't plan it out. I then do all the die cutting, and then I turn the camera on. And I hope for the best. And I just film it. I film everything. So that's how I create. Again, everybody creates differently, and that's awesome. I think that's the beauty of it. But these are the rationales for, putting the flowers to the back. I can cut these flowers apart like I am to get different looks from these same dies. By putting them a little lower, by putting them a little higher, you're going to get these differences from the same die. So always look at these dies and say, okay, how can I change this? For the little sprouts that we've got going on here, I'm putting those to the back of the front egg carton. Again, to get that dimensional diorama look. Does anybody realize what I didn't do yet? Because I still haven't. Yep, I'm saying it every once in a while. This, I'm taking the tools. So the front's going to have one tool. All right. The back is going to have two of them. And again, putting those right out to the front. Really didn't want those to be hidden, you know, because of their size. Really wanted those to just have fun sticking out. The back doesn't have a sentiment. You can certainly add a strip of paper if you want to add your sentiment to it. I would add a Post-it to this. Here it is. I absolutely love this. My God, I absolutely love it. Does anybody realize what I didn't do yet? Just saying. Here's the back. We can see the bunny with this bag of carrots. And we've got all of these. We got these eggs. We've got this going on here. I think it is absolutely adorable. I think it is a wonderful card. I would put this in, I believe it's a number 10 envelope is what they're called. I have a package of craft ones. When it comes to that, it's right here where I realize right there what I did and what I didn't do. So here we go. We're going to do it. I didn't cut the front handles off. Yeah. It was my fortune, my good fortune, that as I glued things, I really didn't put them on the handle, except the claw. But I only did it to the top points of the claw. So, we were good. Guys, only me. We must have fun with how we create and be able to adapt. So I was very lucky. Would I have cut all of it away? Yes. And again, I have these extra pieces and I would have just added them like I am here. So yeah, again, I just turn on the camera and just have fun with it. Now I'm just going to have even more fun. I'm going to take some of the extra, the 2 extra flowers that I have, and we're just going to cut them up and add a few to our piece, just to fill in the areas that I feel are blank. Again, to just have that fun with the piece. As always, I hope you enjoyed. I hope I gave you some entertainment with this one, if nothing else. But have fun with it. Don't ever give up. You know, some people would have looked at that and said, nope, I've got to throw this away. Oh my goodness, no. Just cut it away. You can fill it back in. All the products that I used are listed down below, and I do encourage you to check out this collection. It is absolutely adorable. If you have any questions, leave those down below as well, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that thumbs up if you haven't done that yet, and make sure you ring the bell so that you know when the next video is ready for you to watch. If it doesn't notify you, just check back often. You never know. I post. Enjoy the art you create, and by all means, enjoy the process. Have fun with it, and know and have the confidence that you are creating art, and it's beautiful. Always remember, though, what's still most important for me. Always be creative, and I will talk to you in the next one. Till then.